It's my honor to introduce a group of exceptional high school students who are here in our capital for this wonderful weekend that we all know when our capital is taken over by the talent and the youth and the enthusiasm and the energy of the Youth in Government program. These young people are from our Palos Verdes delegation. They're one of over 60 delegations from all over the state that's here this weekend, bringing together over 1,800 passionate young people from across California to form the 77th Model Legislature and Court. Each of them are going to spend the weekend here at the state capitol drafting legislation, constitutional amendments, debating constitutionality in the state budget, and running for statewide office as well. They've already used their civic knowledge, engagement, leadership to benefit our community. I know for our Palos Verdes delegation, there's been volunteer efforts to support wildfire relief in Los Angeles, beach cleanup, sporting events for kids with disabilities that they've helped out with. I want to just point out a few of them that are here who've championed some of their own policies already that they will be bringing to the floor of the Senate later on this weekend. David Cohn, Hannah Schneider, Luke Sporer, Megan White, Sasha Skyer, and Stanley Jen. And I look forward to seeing them in our seats, not only this weekend, but in a few years. And with that, I would love to introduce one of our colleagues who was in their shoes not that long ago, or perhaps a little while ago, John Laird, former Youth in Government Senator.
Senator Laird.
I thank
shy and retiring Senator Laird.
Yeah, thank you, and I thank my colleague for saying that wasn't very long ago. And yes, I sat on this floor in high school as a senator with Youth in Government, and I recall what it was like to walk in here and be so excited and to have a sense of how laws were made. At the time, every Y was allowed a bill. You could introduce a bill, and then you learned how to follow it all the way through. And at the time, the governor then, who I will not name but later went on to be president, had a position that we should not have income tax withholding in California, that taxes should hurt. There was no withholding on paychecks for state taxes at the time. So naturally, my Y rose to the challenge and did a bill to require that there be income tax withholding for the state of California, of which note was taken inside another part of this Capitol. And yet, it was exciting. It was forcing an issue of the time. It was learning how things worked. It was actually having to know your colleagues and get along with them and depend on them. And I recall different people saying, I'm coming back here. And there have been a few that have. I remember I served with Assemblymember Dario Fromer, who was a Youth in Government member. So I wish you well, and I'm really glad under term limits, none of you will be old enough to run against me in time. But I hope this is a learning process. It's the start of an illustrious career. So welcome to the Capitol for this weekend.
So members, it turns out another one of our colleagues, Senator Wiener, was also a Youth in Government senator and unfortunately got his big bill on First Amendment rights vetoed by the governor. But he's always swinging for the fences. We want these young people to keep swinging for the fences legislatively and their budding careers, and we just want to give them a very, very warm State Senate welcome.